Hi and welcome. My name is Kale. I'm with NutriVersity. I'm going to take you through what you can expect after you sign up for NutriVersity and how to set it up so that you get the most out of the system. I'm going to move quickly to respect your time. Feel free to pause, rewind, or even reach out to us for support. We work hard to answer quickly. So when you first log in, you're going to notice it's saying, "Hi, what's your name?" That's because we haven't told it what our name is and what we want to be called. We'll get there in a second. You'll see that the first button that's here on your homepage, your dashboard here, is to set your goal weight. Once we click this, the system's going to take us into the My Life section of the site where we tell it all about ourselves. Notice these sub-tabs across here. These, by the way, are the same thing that are listed under here. The first thing that we want to do is tell it what our body and goals are so that it can determine how many calories we should have, and we can get the recipes scaled to the size that we want. So I'll tell it my gender, my height, how much I currently weigh, what my bone structure is, my activity level. I'm going to come back to that in a second so I can show you more. What my weight loss goal is. I'm just going to go for moderate. You know what? I'll go fast. And it's going to tell us what a suggested goal weight is based on the information we put in. Don't get too concerned about that. It's just an estimate. It doesn't fit everybody. It may be too high, too low. In this case, it happens to be a little bit too low. I'm going to go ahead and put in 190. 188 is probably better for me, but I'll go with 190. And you'll see once we have all those pieces in, it's suggesting the number of calories per day based on that information. It's very important that you get your activity level right, that you're honest in all of these things, that your goal weight is your actual goal weight, your ultimate goal weight, not a stepping stone, and that your activity level is correct. Most people overestimate this. So I'd encourage you to read the explanation that pops up when you change this. I do work at a desk job, and it says here, low is appropriate for most people if you work a desk job or find yourself sitting most of the time, etc. That's the one that I'm going to go with. So it's suggesting 1,970 calories a day. That's pretty good. I'm going to stick with that. If I wanted to, I can override that. And I can make it anything I want. It can be twice as much, it could be half as much, it can't be too low. The system won't let you go too low. Once we do that, we hit Save Profile, and we move on to the next section, which is My Nutrients. This is where you tell it a few pieces of information. Most of us in the US are going to choose gallons and pounds. You may choose liters and kilos, and it's going to show you measurements in the metric system if you do that. The next thing you can say is that whether you want to see things in calories, grams, or zone blocks. If you are a diehard zone fan, you may want to set zone blocks. I personally think calories is easier, so that's what I'm going to set it to. And then you're going to choose how you want things to be measured, whether they're easy or precise. Precise is going to end up giving you measurements potentially like 5/8 cup plus a tablespoon. And that's in order to get it as accurate as possible so the balance ratio of all the nutrients stays as close as possible to the original recipe. If you are not up for that and you don't have any idea what 5/8 cup plus 1 tablespoon looks like, choose easy measurements, and it's going to make those measurements easier for you. Lastly, we're going to tell it what information we want to track when we're looking at a recipe. Most of us coming here are going to be at least interested in the carbohydrates, protein, and fat. That's why those default to that. And then there's a whole list of information over here that you could track as well. I could say I want to track fiber also, and maybe I want to track, not caffeine, sorry, cholesterol. And I can put those in the order that I want that matters to me. Once I've got that set up, I can hit Save Preferences. And by the way, you can come back and change any of these at any time. The next step is to tell it, what do you want to be called? Instead of what's your name, let's go ahead and come in here, plug in our name, and the screen name, this box, is the information that's going to appear up here. So I'm going to go with Kale Man, be a little bit interesting. Hit Save, and next thing you know, up at the top, it's going to call me Kale Man. 2 more steps, they're very quick. Next is to pick a diet. We're focused on the zone diet right now. Over time, we expect to see more diets in here. And I happen to be no tolerance for trans fat, so I'm going to go ahead and click Use for this and save that diet selection. Now we're going to go to the eating plan. This is the most exciting part of this as far as I'm concerned. This is where we're going to tell it what we want calorie-wise for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I don't have anything set up yet, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the button here that says Suggest a Plan. And when it does that, it's going to do its best to use best practices and suggest a plan that would work for us based on the number of calories that we've told it we're going to have. We've said 2,000 calories. So it's come up with 2 snacks at 275 and a pretty big breakfast. I could leave it this way, but that's not how I like to eat. So I'm going to go ahead and add another snack, and I'm going to reduce these 2 snacks down to 200. And then I'm over by 50 calories. I don't like a breakfast that big anyway, so I'm going to reduce that, and boom, my calories lines up with the calories that I told it I want to eat, and I can save that plan. Where this really comes in and shines is throughout the whole site, but I'm going to tell you the most exciting place and obvious place to see it is when you go look at a recipe. Now when I look at a recipe, you can see that there's these buttons that offer to view the recipe as breakfast, lunch, snack, or dinner. When none of those are lit up, that means you're viewing the recipe as entered. This is the way the person who entered this recipe created it. It's 420 calories. That's way too big for a snack for me. So I can come along and click snack, and this recipe is going to scale. It's going to tell me exactly how much to put into this recipe in order to get the right number of calories, and it's going to tell me it makes 1/3 quesadilla and I'm supposed to have the entire thing. Same for dinner. If I click dinner, I had quite a bit more calories, 484 calories, 1 1/4 quesadillas, I should eat the whole thing. Hey, thanks for watching. We're always here to help. If you have any questions, come on down here to the support and feedback button down at the bottom, and it's going to pop up here. This is the best way to get support. It gives us all kinds of useful information about what screen you were looking at. So thanks for being here, and we look forward to hearing from you.